Hello, good evening everyone, and welcome back to the GSMC and the Downforce Cup. We are here with a very special race here at Monaco Grand Prix, and this is the start of our Triple Crown League. So this is a league where if a driver wins 3 of our league races, so that is Monaco, that will be Daytona, and that will be Le Mans, they will become the Triple Crown champions, which has only happened once in real life. So we've got to see if we can replicate that in sim form. But on to tonight, we are here at round 5 of 9, a 40-minute as usual race with a 10-minute warm-up session, which is what we are in now, and a 15-minute qualifying session. And we are here, like I said, at the very special Monte Carlo, a very dangerous, very quick track. Some people say it's not suited for these cars, but we are here anyway, as they do in real life, so it's going to be something very cool. Let us switch over to the current races. We are also, as normal, joined by Ken. I'm just going to bring him in quickly, so say hello, Ken.
Hello, Ken.
How you doing, mate? You alright?
Yeah, good to be here. Looking forward to the race. It's always a classic.
It should be very interesting. I don't think we have any penalties for any drivers this time round, so I think everyone is clean and good to go. So qualifying is going to be very important.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, especially on a track like this.
Yeah, absolutely. Sweet. Well, we'll catch up with Ken a bit later. Thanks, mate. And we will continue on. So we're just watching Frozen Droid having a little spin there. Let us have a look at our season standings. We are missing a few key players tonight. So actually the top of the table, Mr. David Kruger and in second place Mr. Spook are both missing from the races, even though they can't make it tonight. So that is going to open up the championship wide open. Frozen Droid currently in third place with 36 points, followed by Ricky Tan in fourth. Fifth place we have Juan Owaski, followed by Twin Flow, and then Flying Rhino down in 7th. Flying Rhino has been putting in some amazing pace around here, so I would tip him to be our pole sitter tonight alongside Frozen Droid, I think, because we just see them coming together down at the hairpin. We got Jack in 8th place, followed by Schmidt, who also can't make it this evening, in 9th, with Mason down in 10th place. In 11th place we have Jordan. 12th we have Alex 1 Top G. 13th we have Alex Goncalves. 14th Oblong, with Wild Boys, Xanax, Valterco, Herio, Flyler and Gagan, all on 0 points at the bottom of the grid. We currently only have 7 races here this evening, but that is no problem because it is Monaco, probably one of the most difficult races on the track, and it's going to be all about qualifying. This is a race against the track, not against each other really, so it's all about keeping it clean, not making mistakes, not clipping the barriers as you've just seen Frozen Joy doing there, and just keeping it absolutely nailed. Let us ride alongside this car, because this is an amazing famous Marlboro livery of the drive-by racing team here at Monaco, so this is going to bring back a lot of memories seeing this sort of livery car flying around here as he now powers up the hill. Us have a look here. Cool. Yeah. So, like I said, we are in just a short period of 5 minutes remaining on track for these guys to get nice and warmed up. They have been doing a little bit of practice before we start, but they are on their way for sure. So we're just watching Jack now blasting out of the chicane, heading into the back, down a couple of gears, sweeps through. Look at that camera angle, that's amazing. As he flies through here, gets nice and low, car full throttle, comes out of the swimming pool into the second chicane, just taps the left there. He's getting the car hooked up actually. He was a little bit all over the place before the start of the session, but he's starting to just steadily feel the groove here. As he crosses the line to set a 16, what was that, a 17.6, so just 9/10 slower than Ricky Town behind, who set a 116.692. But they're going to be testing out their full fuel loads getting everything happening and everything happy as he just lets through Frozen Droid, and as he slows down now into Maribou, down into the famous Grand Hairpin Hotel. Hairpin, the car will be on full lock through there, the fullest lock. Oh, as he gets the car sideways out at the bottom there. And now he's down into the tunnel. Look at that, the camera shakes as it whizzes through, out the exit into the sunshine, hard on the brakes. He's going to get the braking point, does indeed, just misses that first corner, wide at the chicane. Going to hurt him on exit. Look at the car, they're struggling to get straight. Now into the back. Gets through, touches the wall on the exit off the back. That is not going to be conducive to his time if he keeps doing that. Now flies through the second part of the swimming pool chicane. And now heads up to Anthony Nodes. Gets the car wide, but there's a little bit of curb there that you can just take. Actually, let's ride on board him as he now flies up into Saint Devant. Misses the apex totally, gets the car understeer, hits the rear on the curb. See what I mean? It's so easy just to get the car a little bit out of shape. You've got to have the whole rhythm going. Get the car turned in. This is a double apex, just no room to breathe. Little dab on the brakes there as he now heads on down the hill. Gets hard on the brakes, gets the car turning. You want to be on that curb on the inside because it just starts to pull you around, and he misses that. Now into the hairpin chicane again. It's just all go, go, go here. Actually does nicely there, gets the curb. Oh, it's big oversteer again there. He's going to clip the corner on the way through, clip the car into a spin, and that is going to be him in the barrier. Yellow flags are flying, and he returns back into the pit lane. Who are we missing out of this lot? We are missing currently Liam, who is hopefully okay, Mr. Flying Rhino. He's currently AFK. We should have 7 and we've only got 6, so hopefully he comes back in a second. Maybe just a quick restart. Let's have a look at this man. So this is the only full team here this evening. The Kamikaze Racing team in the beautiful Lotus JPS livery as he heads into the Novell chicane. Comes out of that beautifully, looking pretty good actually as he goes through to back. Gets the car hooked up nicely. Very fast through the first swimming pool chicane into the second. Does he hit the yellow curb? Doesn't hit the yellow curb, so it doesn't upset him too much. And now as he turns into the Raskas, gets the car powered down. Nicely there from Oblong here. He's going to cross the line. Is he going to do a faster time? No, not quite. Still in the 120.9s. But that isn't too bad here. It's all about the qualifying position here at Monaco. You want to qualify as high up the grid as you can because it's almost impossible to overtake here. And we're going to see if these guys can do it. You've got to have absolute patience to be able to do it. You've got to put the car in front under pressure. And then you've got to force them into a mistake almost, you know, and then just nip down the inside and make that move count for you. So it's going to be extremely interesting here this evening to see that. So we're just watching Oblong now blast through the tunnel, gets the car hooked up nicely, comes out into the daylight, hard on the brakes, down the hill, slight downhill, so you have to brake just a little bit earlier. Actually beautiful through the chicane there from Oblong. The car looked really smart through there, through to back, a little bit bump on the inside, you might have seen that, so it just unsettles the car just as you want to turn in, which is always unsettling. He's got to clip the yellow barrier. He does clip the yellow curb this time, but it keeps the car way away from the barriers here. A little bit of front locking up through the Raskas. Through Anthony Nose now. Gets the car just a little bit too slow on the exit there. You just need to be picking up the throttle a little bit, but he crosses the line now. And he does improve his time into an 18, so 2 seconds faster from him. Beautiful job from him. Let's have a look at his teammate here. The coolest guy, Mr. Mason. He's on a very similar sort of time. Actually, let's ride on board as it goes through the tunnel, goes out into the daylight. As you can see, it just drops away here down the tracks. You need to get on the brakes. Just missed that yellow barrel. Rear the car, complaining there, under braking. So it started to slide round. And then big snap of oversteer on power, through to back, having to brake hard through here. Flat out through this section, then hard onto the brakes into the second swimming pool. Misses the yellow scheme, gets the car close to the curb. Beautiful job here. Oh, he's really tight in his entry. He's going to clip the barrier, and he's going to clip the barrier and spin the rear of the car around, so he now returns back to the pits. So that will be practice over. We're just waiting for a few stragglers to come through. So we're back on board with Jack here as he starts around the corner. He's actually in third place here with an impressive 17.6. So he's really dialed into this track fairly quickly. I think he did a little bit of testing with us when we picked this, so it's helping him a lot. So, I think the server is going to push it into qualifying now. It is indeed. So we are going to run into qualifying. I'll see you after this. So here we are into qualifying. Qualifying is what matters here at Monaco, as we see Frozen Droid now trying to get out. Red light ahead. ASCII is actually in front. Traffic is going to be a big issue here at Monaco. You don't want to be stuck behind another one. Hey Schmitty, how are you? I've heard you have injured yourself, my friend. I hope you're doing well. I'm gutted that you cannot be here this evening, mate, but I hope you do get better soon. But we're now watching ASCII. ASCII's actually let him through. He's letting loads of people through. That is actually maybe a bit of a mistake from ASCII here. But we're going to ride on board Frozen because he's going to be one of the fastest. But I'm hoping that Ken might be able to find out what's going on with Liam fairly soon to see if he is okay. Because we're starting qualifying and he's still not back in the race. So hopefully he is all right. As we ride on board with Frozen Droid, just doing his outlap, getting his tyres up to temperature. But yeah, that was very, very strange of ASCII to let another faster car through during qualifying. Because if he would have held him up, that could have been pole position for him. Just got home from the hospital, so bummed not to be out with you boys today. Well, mate, if you can get set up within 13 minutes, Schmitty, you can be here. But no, if you need to rest, mate, that's understandable. I hope you're doing all right, mate. You can just watch along the carnage live on the stream here with us. So we're going to ride with Frozen Droid now as he comes through. Anthony knows to start his lap. Gets the power down. DRS wide open. Crosses the line now. Brings the car to the left. Brakes. It's the only straight that we have, and it's not really straight as he now powers up the hill at Bull Rivage. Keeps the car nice and straight, gets the car turned through Massenet, gets it through nicely, double apex, beautiful there, gets the car through Casino with the beautiful Casino on the inside, now hard on the brakes into Maribo, misses the apex there, so it's going to cost him a little bit of time, now hard, now you've got to be patient here, be patient, wait, now bring the car around, use a little bit of the curb here. And now he goes on the run into the tunnel, gets the car. There is a car just ahead of him, so he's going to hope that doesn't impede him as he now flies through the tunnel. Down hard on the brakes, downshifting here. Switch through, just missed the yellow. Oh, he touches the yellow, quite a big bump. But he does get a good exit now into to back here. You don't want to be catching a car through this section, but ASCII actually gets out of the way beautifully as Frozen Droid now steams through the chicane. Through the first one, through the second one, runs up right up to the wall here. Beautiful looking lap here from Frozen Droid. Gets the car nicely turned into La Rascas now. Oh, he hits the wall on the exit of Anthony Nodes, and that is going to be the end. So Frozen Droid has to abandon his lap. That is a real shame. So we've got to switch to Mr. Ricky Tan here. So Ricky Tan now flying through the tunnel. He's set a 19.764 for his first sector here. Actually, we should switch to the sector time, shouldn't we? Into qualifying. Here we go. Now through to back. Gets the car a little bit tight through to back and can run up the wall a little bit, but steaming through the first swimming pool sector. Gets the car turned in. Oh, big understeer here. Hits the wall on the outside, but it doesn't seem to have slowed him down at all. Gets the car just rotated in. And he doesn't hit the wall on the inside. Now he powers down the straight that isn't straight. The start-finish straight with the DRS wide open. Goes through with a 15.580 and crashes at the end. Hopefully he returns to the pit. He does indeed. So Ricky Tan goes on provisional pole with a 15.580. Behind him, Mr. Oblong with an 18.880. And I don't think anyone else has set a time. We've got to actually watch Mr. ASCII here, who's 2.8 seconds down in the first sector. Goes through the swimming pool now. Plus 1.3 there. Again, wasting a little bit of space on the exit there. It's just easy to tighten up. Oh, it gets tight on the exit there. It's not what you want. You want to be slower in and faster out. And again there. So this is not going to put him... It's probably going to put him third at the minute as he crosses the line now. And he does indeed go third with a 20.392. So we are now actually seeing Mason on a fast lap here. So Mason now breaking down into the Novell chicane. Gets the car beautifully stopped through there and turned through. Really nice tight line. And we're just seeing Jack and Rhino on comparative first sector times to what Ricky Tan did. So it'll be worth switching to those in a second. Terabyte says, evening boost, we're back in business. We are indeed, Terabyte. I hope you are well. We are back here at Monaco. What a way to kick back the second half of this season here. As we just watched now, Mason crossing the line as he goes up into, this could be putting him into third place. It does indeed, third place with an 18.4. We're going to switch quickly to the Flying Rhino, who's up in the first sector, up in the second sector. Gets the car a little bit sideways there. It's going to cost him a little bit as he crosses the line. But is he going to just nick the time from Ricky Tan? Oh, he doesn't. With 7 thousandths of a second to Ricky Tan here. He goes 15.658. Where Ricky Tan did a 15.580. Beautiful lap from Ricky Tan. The Flying Rhino is going to want to push on with that. Where is Frozen Joy? So Frozen Joy now crossing the line. He does a good first, good second. He puts him up into... That is not the one I wanted to. Frozen Joy, actually, no, Rosenjoy with a 14.798 goes quickest overall. 7/10 clear of Ricky Tan. That is an impressive lap from Frozen Joy here. So hopefully he can keep hold of that as the Flying Rhino goes a little bit quicker. No, he's a little bit slow. Oh, and he looks up into the Novell chicane. That is going to ruin his lap here. He's going to have to abandon that. Who else is on an outlap? Mason still is. Oblong is on an outlap. So he is. Jack is on an outlap. Is anyone improving their time? Just Mason here as he crosses the line now. And he goes quicker, but he doesn't go quicker in the timings as he gets the car all sorts of loose at the end. So he goes into 7th with an 18.358. But look at the gaps are very, very close between everyone here. This is very, very impressive. So who's out on track at the moment? We know Rhino is, but it's just Ricky Tan now. Actually, slow first sector there. 3 seconds slower. Schmidt says, that's my boy. That is indeed my boy. Frozen Droid absolutely obliterating. Is he still going? No, he's on an outlap now. Oh, he does go quicker. A 14.439. Now 1.1 second. 1.1 second clear. So Frozen Droid absolutely obliterating everyone so far in this qualifying session. 8 minutes to go. I expect the Flying Rhino to come back and bring this gap down because he has been quick. But Frozen Droid is absolutely on it at the moment. Unbelievable stuff from him as he flies around the Monaco. We see Ricky Tan now pushing through first sector. Oh, it nearly hits the exit of the casino there. Gets the car turned down. Ooh, he's just a 10th slower than the fastest time here. So he's doing a good first sector here. 19.493. Just a 10th star, but seems a little bit slow for him. You need to be squirting the gas and going and hitting the brakes hard. What is his middle sector? Frozen did a 37.483. What is Ricky Tan going to come out of the tunnel and what we're going to see here? Oh, beautiful line there from Ricky Tan. Actually, that was impressive. Oh, we see Flying Rhino on a purple middle sector. We didn't get a middle sector from Ricky. There we go. Middle sector 37.9. So he's down a couple of attempts here. So he's going to close the gap for sure. If he can keep the last sector nice and tight. But it don't. Oh no, he gets the back end out. Oh, he's all sorts of screwy. He tries to keep it and absolutely bins it into the wall. That's a real shame. So we've got to switch to the Flying Rhino. Flying Rhino is actually on an outlap. So he's not going to go faster. Who can we switch to there? What's Jack doing? Jack is on an outlap as well. Oh, that was a real shame for Ricky Tan there. You hate to see it. Oblong's on an outlap as well. So these guys are all on outlaps now, just trying to keep things together. So Ricky Tan very, very nearly closed that gap by a good margin, but he just lost it on the final corner, which is a real shame to see. So let's ride with the Flying Rhino. Actually ride on board a little bit and check him out as he starts his flying lap here to try and take that pole position away from Frozen Droid, who seems to be fairly confident that he's got this because he's stayed in the pits. He doesn't think he can do any better, I think. So we are now watching Flying run across the line, hard on the brakes there, keeps it in a straight line, gets a nice hook up the hill. Now you just want to try and keep the car in the middle of this, slightly left, slightly right, bring it to the right, get the first apex done a little bit wide on the first, but brings it in for the second. That's going to tighten his entry to casino because he could have saved a tenth or two there. Now back down, misses the apex totally on the inside there. Now what can he do? He's down a tenth already in the first sector, real tight through the hairpin at the hotel there. Gets the car in, just brushes the barrier on the exit as he now flies through the tunnel, and he comes out of the tunnel screaming hard on the brakes as it goes downhill. Gets the car turning, missed the yellow barrier, orange barrier in the front, missed the yellow curb on the exit as he powers out of the Noval chicane through to the back. Gets the car hooked up nicely through there, through the swimming pool, absolute flat out, fastest middle sector of anyone. Oh, just about touches the curb on the end there. Shmi said this angle is fantastic. I know, it's so good, right? As we see Flying Runner now coming through the final corner as he crosses the line with 4.5 minutes to go. Does he improve? He does improve, only to second though. So he bumps Ricky Tan down into second place. He goes through with a 15.105. So he needs to do a better job than that to beat Frozen Joy. But at the moment, he's going to be standing side by side with him. He's given it the absolute beans here. Nothing was left out there. Still a 10th down through Sector 1 though for the Flying Rhino. And look at this overhead shot. This is incredible. We'll just stay with him through one long shot as he goes through the hairpin. What a beautiful shot that was. As now he heads into the shot. Oh, oversteer into the tunnel. So he's going to be slow through here. And when I say slow, I mean slower than Frozen Joy did. Frozen Joy must have just hooked up an amazing lap. Misses the first part of the chicane, hits the second part of the chicane. Yeah, so this is not looking like a fast lap for the Rhino. Maybe he just needs to reset and get back on it. Yeah, 3/10 down now in the middle sector. They really need to leave it out all on the table. I'm just looking to see who else is going faster. We've still got Mason here on an out lap. What about Jack? So Jack has just exited the pits in 4th place. What's Ricky Tan doing? Ricky Tan is actually starting his flying lap, so we're going to watch on board with him as he flies up Beau Rivage into Massenet. Mind the bump on the inside. There is actually a road that joins there. Gets the car hooked up. And look at that, into the gully from Ricky Tan. Fastest first sector of anyone. What an amazing... Do you see that? So he just hooked the car up onto the gully as he goes through the Maribo, and it just brings the car around. So he now powers out of the tunnel. Look at this. He's just absolutely on it. Ricky Town, first his fast sector. Car, nice on the brakes. Turns in early. Beautiful. Oh, look at that. Absolutely pinpoint position then for Ricky Tan as he now goes through to back. A little bit of understeer through to back, but he's now flying through the second part. Hard on the brakes, second chicane. Just about misses the yellow curb, which keeps the car fastest middle sector of anyone. Do not lose it here at the end again, Ricky Tan. As he goes through the final curve, gets the power down. Beautiful here. This is going to be a great lap from Ricky Tan as he powers down. DRS wide open. Crosses the line now to go P2, and he's only 0.006 of a second slower. Ricky Tan, holy crap, that is incredible from Ricky Tan. That was a beautiful looking lap up into P2 from Ricky Tan. What a great job from Ricky Tan. What a qualifying this is going to be. You need to be at the front of the grid for this, I'm telling you. So the Flying Rhino now needs to come back to see what he can do. So we're just watching now Rhino crossing the start line to start his flying lap. But Ricky Tan, unbelievable stuff from him. What a great lap from him. So Flying Rhino, so he must have just missed out on the third sector, I think. Because he was up on the first, up on the second by a little bit. And we see the Flying Rhino bouncing over that bump. He's up a little bit on the first sector, only by 0.002 though, so it's not too bad. Goes through the hairpin. Oh, a little bit deep there. And now, because he's deep, he's correcting it on the power. Gets a little bit screwy on exit. You can see the difference between how Ricky Town was so smooth through there. And it almost looks slower because it's not as active. But now we're just seeing him flying out. The Flying Rhino flying out of the tunnel. Just a little bit wide there, a little bit wide there. Just needs to neaten up a little bit from the Rhinos. as he goes through the back. He does look quicker through the back. He's just using an extra bit of space on the exit there. Goes through the swimming pool, sketching one. Oh, he's up. Look at that. See, he's up in the middle sector here. So down in the first, up in the second. This is going to be very, very close to Ricky Tan. So I don't think he's going to beat Frozen Joy. But look at, now we're going to see the flying right across to the line now. Oh, he goes pole. Wow, what an incredible, that wasn't looking like a pole lap to me, but wow, he just pulls it back in the first, in the middle sector and the third sector, a 14.428. The gap between these is 8,000th of a second. Oh, Frozen Joy now though, back out. Frozen Joy 2/10 up in the first sector alone. So Frozen Joy has come back out. He's now heading to possibly the fastest lap ever. Oh, he hits the wall on the entrance to the tunnel. That is going to slow him down just a touch. That 2/10, he's probably just given that up. He's now hard on the brakes now. The pressure's on. Gets the car swept in, hits a big yellow curb, but it's going to slow him on the exit a little bit. But he's just so fast everywhere here. Schmidt has got his head in his hands. He cannot believe what's happened. Look how fast he flies through there. The session is over. But we're just now watching Frozen Joy coming, powering around. He is into Larascas now. And he's going to power up into Anthony Nodes. He's up in the second sector. He's, oh, look at that. Nearly hits a barrier. Leaving absolutely everything. Crosses the line now. He goes. He does it. He does pole in 13.8. Unbelievable. Half a second faster than the Flying Rhino. He gets it done. Wow. What a lap from Frozen Joy. 113.886 from him. He just absolutely tore that up. Holy jeez. What a lap. What a qualifying session from those top three there. A good nearly 2 seconds faster than P4. Frozen Joy, Rhino and Ricky Tad. Unbelievable qualifying. Probably the best qualifying I've ever seen here at the GSMC. I am absolutely stoked. Holy. So we are just now in the warm-up phase here for the race. I need to catch my breath. But yeah, I'm just going to throw to Ken quickly while we're warming up. Ken, what did you think of that qualifying session?
Oh, I mean, it all seemed to happen in the last 3 minutes. It was incredible. Ricky Tan, Rhino, and Frozen just separating themselves from the rest of the pack. Incredible. Yeah, absolutely incredible stuff. Who do you think is going to win today? It's very classic that the pole sitter is the winner, but there could be different tactics here. Who knows? And also, you know, it's a difficult track, and one small mistake can put you in the pits. So it's really all to play for between the top three, I'd say. Yeah, I think Frozen Joy might have this evening. I think if he can get into turn one ahead, I think it's his. But anyway, I'll let you get back to organising the race. We'll speak soon. Cheers. Yeah, wow. Okay, amazing stuff there in qualifying. So we're just now in the warm-up phase, making sure everyone is happy. We've got all of the competitors ready to go, but that was a phenomenal qualifying session here. So we're gonna just wait for everything to calm down, and then we'll push into the race when the race director is ready. So you guys in chat, who do you think is going to win the race? We've got 7 options. We've got Mr. Frozen Droid, Flying Rhino, Ricky Tan, Jack, Wino Aski, Oblong, and the coolest guy. Oh, as we now push into the race. So while you answer that, I will be back after this. Okay, we are here at the race. We're just waiting for everyone to get onto their grid positions. Nicely done. So we need to click a button here. That one there. Perfect. So, oh, Schmitty says we know who we think. I was going to say ASCII, but no, he's come back with L Frozen. So, okay, clearly a Frozen fan in the chat here. Clearly a Frozen fan. So we're just going to switch that over. We're going to switch the gap to next, just for Jack. So actually, Terabyte, I think it'll end in the order it starts as Terabyte. So we think it's going to start Frozen Droid, finish Frozen Droid, Rhino, Ricky Tan, Jack, ASCII, Oblong, and Mason. Very, very interesting. So don't forget, we do have formation laps here. So they're just going to start their formation lap now. And as they do so,
we are quickly going to run through the starting order, because why the devil not? I know there's only a couple, but so we've got Frozen Droid in pole with Flying Rhino and Moonshine second, Ricky Tan in the Peniston Oils car in third, Jack in fourth place. In the third row, we have Wino Aski with Oblongs beside, and at the back of the grid this evening, we have the coolest guy in the Sister Kamikaze Racing Team car. So that was nice and quick, as I said. Let's bring back all our other gumph. And there it is. So we're just now watching these guys just trying around, get everything nice and warm. Get everything ready to start the race. And these cars just look fantastic driving around here, don't they? Even though this track isn't necessarily made for these cars these days, Monaco is tight, twisty, hard. It is definitely one to test the mettle of the drivers. And to have that spread, even though it was a couple of seconds, but to have it so tight between these 7 races was absolutely phenomenal. And it's only a few corner differences between everyone. So what a great job these guys have done, especially the top 3. Unbelievable show they put for us. They often say that in Monaco, it's all about qualifying. The qualifying is where the show is, and we definitely got that this evening already. So if we can walk away with a great qualifying, I'll be a happy man. So we're now just watching Frozen Droid coming around the final couple of corners before he takes his grid slot. I believe he slots in on the right hand side of the grid. He does indeed. So he's now got to find his grid slot. And he does indeed finds his slot nicely, with everyone just forming up behind. And the last couple of cars are there indeed. Beautiful stuff from them. So they are now all stationary. Beautiful. So we're going to mark nice replay event here. Waiting for the lights to go down. Hold. And it's go, go, go. And the Triple Crown Monaco Grand Prix. Frozen Droid gets a good start. Jack gets an even better start here. Jack side by side with Ricky Tan. Ricky Tan up the inside. Ricky Tan, though, keeps the inside line as they head up the hill. They have got away in the order that they started on. But Ricky Tan gets quite a bad start. So Frozen Droid now leads the pack through the casino square, and we see Ricky Tan now under pressure from Jack instantly. Jack wants to get past him. Oh, Jack hits Ricky Tan. Jack and Ricky Tan come together, but actually they both make it. Jack just missed his braking point here and hits the back of Ricky Tan. Hopefully doesn't do a lot of damage there, as they now head into the tunnel for the first time in 40 minutes. Ricky Tan is going to be keeping serious eyes on Jack now as they now power through. Looks like they are in the order that they started in still, as I now head out of the tunnel and hit the brakes hard, as we see Rhino locking up Ricky Tan over the back, but goes wide because of that. Jack is going to look at the inside and have a sniff maybe into the back. Jack is all over the rear gearbox of Ricky Tan, as we saw Ricky Tan had to sort of do an avoiding manoeuvre on the Flying Rhino. Rhino's already dropping back by a second from Frozen Droid. So Frozen Droid has broken the DRS. Oh, we see Ricky Tan go wide. Jack is going to try and sneak up the inside to Anthony Nose. He does indeed. Jack gets up the inside at Anthony Nose. Ricky Tan demoted into 4th place as he goes deep into the Rascas. So Jack now up into P3. Ricky Tan is not going to be happy about that. Now Ricky Tan is chasing him hard on his tail as they now fly up Beau Rivage and into Massenet. Schmitty says, oh boy, I can't believe my eyes. Absolutely, you can't believe they are racing at these speeds around here. But we're just seeing Frozen Droid disappearing off into the distance here. In fact, what we need to do is we need to see what tyres they are on. So they are all on mediums, apart from Jack, who starts on the softs here. So is Jack thinking a soft strategy? Because I don't think the softs are going to land. Oh, Matt, I stand corrected. You do indeed. Jack has got through on the soft tyres, and he's making these work for him beautifully at the minute. Oh, no, big look up though for Jack as he crosses the bumps there. That is going to hurt him a little bit as they now continue into to back. But Jack just gapping Ricky Tan just a touch here with his soft tyres. Can he get back? Can he get onto the just ignore oh Matt. I will indeed, don't worry Terabyte, I won't say it again. Oh Matt, as we see now Jack flying through the final corner on his soft tyre. So Jack makes a +1 fastest lap time from Frozen with 16.660. Flying Rhino with a 16.6, Jack with a 16.8, Ricky Tan with an 18.6. So Ricky Tan's fallen away. Is he? I think they're all on mediums, did I say? Did Ricky Tan take the hards? No, they are all on mediums, apart from Jack here. So now we're just watching the natural field spread of Monaco. Let us switch to Mr. Frozen Droid. He's just starting to pull away. 1.3 seconds now ahead of the Flying Rhino. I think Frozen Droid wants this win badly. Schmee says, oh, Matt. Oh, Oblong has lost his front wing on a barrier here. So Oblong is going to have to pit soon. He's lost his front wing. So Mason has now popped up into 6th place, his teammate. You need a front wing around here. So he's going to have to stop to get that replaced. That is a real shame from Oblong. And we got a penalty for Ricky Tan. What's the penalty for Ricky Tan for? I missed it. I've just seen it pop up on the screen. Penalty for Ricky Tan. I have no ideas what that could be for. I wonder if he cut the chicane. I'm not entirely sure, but that just popped up on our screens, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Maybe our race director can go have a word with Mr. Ricky Tan to see if that is genuine or not. And then we can have a look at that. So we're just watching now the Flying Rhino now within 7/10 of Frozen Droid. So Frozen Droid had a bad lap, or Mr. Rhino had a good one. What did Rhino do? 16 flat. Yeah, and Frozen Droid did a 16.5. So half a second quicker there. We've got a yellow flag as well in Sector 3. So is that Oblong now going into the pits? It is. Oblong has returned to the pits. Mason is continuing on his way. Ricky Tan and Aski are close together. So Ricky Tan, it seems like he might have some problems here as he goes through. We've got Aski right on the back of Ricky Tan now, pushing him along. We're going to keep an eye. Oh, we see Jack spun! Jack has spun on the exit of the Novel chicane. So Jack now down into P5 here. Mason is going to get past him as they head into the tunnel. Mason swooped past her. Jack now from hero to zero as they head out of the tunnel. Mason's hard on the brakes, gets the move done. Jack now down into P6. His tyres must start to be cooking. Those softs really do not last long around here at Monaco. So actually we see a big train going on here. So what's going on with Ricky Tan and Aski? So Aski is now pushing along Ricky Tan. Ricky Tan back up into P3. And he's got a penalty for some unknown reason. Do we know what that is yet?
Just penalised him anyway.
Right. Okay. So he got a penalty from the system for jumping the chicane. That's a real shame.
Yeah. From
Ricky Tan. So he'll have to serve that at some point. So we've got Jack now. Look at this. Jack all over the back of Mason. So Jack is trying to get his position back. Oh, very, very close to contact there. Jack's going to look down the inside. Is he going to get the move down around the outside at the hairpin? Is he going to do it? He does indeed. What a beautiful move there from Jack around the outside of the hairpin. What a fantastic job he's doing. He's now 7 seconds behind Wino Askew, who's dropped a little bit from Ricky Tan. So Ricky Tan continues on his way, but he does have a big, fat penalty to serve at some point. As we see now Jack heading into the chicane and pulling away nicely from Mason. So they say it is impossible to overtake here, but not if you are Jack, because that is two overtakes we've seen from Jack so far in this race. What a good job he's doing, apart from the time he's spun, but we'll forget about that. So we can see now Flying Rhino is hot on the heels of Frozen Droid. Still half a second. He's set the fastest lap of the race with a 15.789. Still a couple of attempts faster than what Frozen Droid's doing. Frozen Droid just needs to keep the pace here. He doesn't need to panic because it is very, very difficult to get past these sorts of speed. But we now see the Flying Rhino right on the gearbox and pushing Frozen Droid along nicely as they now head through the tunnel here. He's going to get DRS at the end of this lap as well, don't forget. Not that it helps very much, but just needs to make sure he doesn't outbrake himself into this chicane. So easy to do and then ram into the car in front of yourself and cause all sorts of mayhem. But they are nose to tail here. He's going to start suffering with a little bit of the lost downforce from his car. But he's now within 0.2 of a second of Frozen Droid. Frozen Droid just needs to keep it clean and tidy. Not panic too much about what's going on behind him. Just look at the road ahead. He's got all the space he needs. As across the start-finish line, he does indeed get DRS, so he opens up that rear wing. The gap just slightly wider though, as it's basically the accordion effect, so they sort of come together at the corners and spread out through the fast bits as they head up the hill. Look at this, through Massenet, through Casino. Look at these two. These two are absolutely glued to each other. We see a back mark on it. That must be Mr. Oblong. So that is going to be an obstacle these guys need to get through, as Oblong lost his front wing and had to make an early pit stop, unfortunately. So hopefully he's got tyres and stuff switched so he can last to the end of the race, because I think some of these boys, especially Jack, is going to have to stop, I think. Jack now only 6 seconds behind Askey, so he's pulled that gap by a second already. So that will be one to watch. But these two are just in another space and another place here, as we see them both just clumping the curb here, now catching up into Oblong territory. But I don't want to be catching through the slow parts, really, because it's going to hurt, as we see them both bumping through the chicane. Now they're right on the tail here. Is Oblong just going to let him through? He does indeed. He pulls to the right-hand side. What a beautiful move from Oblong. Beautifully passed there. So Oblong should be proud of that as they now head through Anthony Nose and through the start-finish straight. Flying Rhino still has his DRS open. And it's now another lap stuck behind the droid. Oh, we just heard Oblong spinning around the back. He did indeed. He outbrakes himself into the first chicane. It does look like he's on the hard tyres here. No, he's on the mediums. Oh, he is on the hards, yeah. Hard tyres. And we see Ricky Tan in the pits to serve his penalty. So Ricky Tan in the pit lane serving his penalty. Should have his penalty now cleared. And he continues on his way. That is now popped him down into 5th place. 6th place, make that just behind Mason. What a real shame for Ricky Tan there to get that penalty. It is quite a harsh one, but you do gain quite a lot of time from bumping across that line. So Ricky Tan serves his penalty, gets some fresh boots on the car, and he's on the way. Hopefully he can now improve. Oh, we just changed to Jack because I saw him coming close together, but Jack just collided into the back of Askey. Askey must have made a mistake because Jack is all over the back. 30 minutes remaining, and Jack is hot on the heels of Askey. So Askey must have made a mistake and dropped a load of time there, as they are now nose to tail. So Jack possibly chasing down his podium position here. And we're just keeping an eye on the Flying Runner. We see just another lock-up, and Ricky Tan maybe going through the chicane at the back again. Hopefully he doesn't get another penalty, but I think he gave up a load of time there. So Ricky Tan now chasing down these guys in front, but we see Flying Rhino hot on the heels of this man. Oh no, they've dropped back a little bit, so that's fine. We'll switch back to this one. Jack pushing on Askey. Askey now down the start-finish straight. Jack DRS wide open. Oh, we got into sector 3. We have a spin. No, Ricky Tan back in the pits. What's Ricky Tan in the pits for? Ricky Tan doing a drive. Is that his drive-through? So did he stop for tyres and then oh, that is unbelievable if that's the case. Oh, that is very, very painful from Ricky Tan. So anyway, we'll just switch back to this battle then. So Jack on Wano Askey. Not a lot separating these two. Actually, between 1 and 2, we see Flying Rhino. Oh, we've seen at that time between the Rhino and the Droid bouncing between a second and half a second as they basically accordion up. These guys are 28 seconds now behind that battle. Jack hot on Mr. Askey's tail. Askey going for a defensive line through there, but that's going to give Jack a little bit of chance to run him on the exit. Don't forget they do have a push to pass button, so they can use that in defense and in attack. So it'll be interesting to see at the end of the race where these guys have been deploying that. But Jack actually runs just a little bit wide there on the exit, so that's cost him a little bit of time. But he's soon quickly back onto the gearbox of Mr. Wano Askey to go through the final corner here. Jack with his DRS wide open, flying up here. So Ricky Tan now 8 seconds behind Mason in 6th place. Oh, we see Askey getting all sorts of wrong there. Jack nearly slides into the back of him. They're nearly side to side as they go up Beau Rivage into Massenet. And we see Jack just having to back up because there just isn't the space for 2 cars to go side by side there. Jack thought about having a look, but he just couldn't make it happen. And we're just seeing Jack actually getting the car hooked up beautifully for that. Oh, we see Askey locking the front wheel into the hairpin. Jack's going to be looking at it thinking, oh God, can I nip through the inside there at some point? But it's very, very risky to send two Formula 1 cars through there. They just don't have the lock to spin it around as they blast through the tunnel here. Hard on the brakes. Askey again, defensive line into there, because that is probably one of the best known overtaking points here at Monaco. As we see Jack just gaining through the back, gaining through the swimming pool. Askey just looks a little bit unsettled in the car at the moment. Doesn't look like he has the same level of confidence as what Jack does. But, oh, see another lock up there from Askey on his medium tyres. Jack's still on his soft, so he's just got a little bit of grip advantage, I think, at the minute. I'm surprised that they aren't screaming in pain, if I'm honest. Maybe through the traction zone is why he's losing a little bit through the start-finish straight. So Askey just gains a little bit here as they head up Beau Rivage. Once again, these corners and names come up so quickly because they're just doing these laps in 1 minute 15 seconds. So these guys are absolutely on it. As we see the view that Jack sees, and we see the sort of wear on the front right of Jack's side. He's got some flat spots there as well, so they're going to be rattling his Rick like a good one. Did he just nearly budge him through that corner there? Actually, we see Askey, see the attitude of the car in front. He's all sorts of sideways. Jack seems, oh, he hits the exit as well. Does Askey as they go through the tunnel. Jack runs a little bit wide there. Is he going to look for the inside? No, he doesn't. But Askey again covers off the inside. But look at this. Askey goes very, very deep into the first and narrows it up for the second. But it doesn't seem to cost him that much time. Oh, that is a big loss from there. But Jack, no way through. Jack has to back out of it, as you see. So it's just very difficult to know where to go. Shmee says this is crazy. It is indeed. There's so much going on, especially between these two. I'm just watching as well. Keep an eye, and you guys should also keep an eye on Ricky Tan's progress onto Mason. So he's now 4.9 behind. He was, what, 8 seconds behind at one point? So that gap is decreasing. So he's going to be chasing him down very, very fast. So look at that. Oh, Askey gets all sorts of wrong through turn one. Jack looking to go through one way, go through the other. But I think there's a little bit. Look, Askey goes deep. Is there going to be a collision here? Oh, so close to a collision, those two. So close to a collision. That is unbelievable stuff from them two. The front of the cars. Oh, jeez. Oh, Jack gets all sorts of screw. He gets hard on the brake, locks up. Oh, my days. This is absolute racing here. These two are absolutely on it. We've got a replay of that, hopefully, so we can catch that in a second. Just want to see these two come out of the tunnel. But we can catch that on a replay. Jack and Askey basically banging wheels and tyres as they go through. Both locking up brakes. We see Askey going deep once again. Jack goes nice and shallow, gets the car held. He needs to have his deploy button ready for that bit, Jack, because look, through to back is so close to him as they go through. But there's just not a run through here, I don't think. Oh, I just need a second to play my replay. Jack goes wide, so that's going to be the marker point. We're going to go to a replay. Going to ride on board with Jack. Look at this, side by side here. We see Jack might have had a spin. Jack has had a spin. He's now going into the pit lane. Jack's missed the pit lane totally. Has he lost any damage? We see Ricky Tan going through. Mason going through. Jack now into the pit lane. So Jack Tyres must have given up on him. That is a real shame for Jack. Oh, that is terrible. But he had to give up the tyres, so he's got new fresh boots on. So now he's off on the way. Oh, but Askey, we just switched back to Askey. Askey just nosed into the barrier hard. Don't think he got too much front damage here, but he's going to lose a boatload of time there. So Mason is now, look at this. Mason is right on the back and could be in P3. We've got a penalty for Jack. Oh, speeding in the pit lane. I think we just see Askey hit the wall again. And we see Ricky Tant now hot on the heels. I want to go back to this replay quickly of Jack. What you didn't hear is Ken screaming at me in my ears going, oh, Jack spun. So we're watching Jack now flying up the hill side by side here with Askey as they go through. Look at this. He got understeers here. Blocks up. Look, oh, a little dab there. Nearly sends it into the wall going through the casino. Now powering on down to the casino. He locks up again. Jack's thinking about sticking up the inside, but no room there. Gets, big snap of oversteer. Nearly runs into the back of him, but gets the car slowed down. Beautiful job there from the two of them. Unbelievable racing from these guys. As now we see, hang on, what are we watching here? This is Jack. Oh, so I think Frozen Joy just got through on Jack. So Jack is now a lap down with Liam just behind him. So that is how much far in front these guys are. It's actually unbelievable. Oh, we see Liam! Liam crashes into the barrier hard. Does any damage though from Liam? I don't think so, but he's lost a boatload of time there as we see Jack now going back in to serve his penalty. So Liam gets a little bit crossed up with Jack in front of him and then crashes into the barrier hard. But Ricky Tan has got through Mason. I've completely missed that. So Mason now dropped back into P5. Ricky Tan up into P4. We see Mason nearly smacking into the barrier there, but where is Askey? Askey's just coming out of the tunnel. Ricky Tan's just going into the tunnel. Look at the big lock-up from Askey. Ricky Tan is going to be smelling blood here. Loff. Smee says, LMAO, Jack is an absolute menace. Absolutely. So we're now going to ride on board with this man, Mr. Ricky Tan. Let's see if he can catch up and pass Askey, because Askey has been the bus, the goated bus. He is now in P3. Oh, look at that. So wide there. Ricky Tan's going to get a phenomenal run across the start-finish line here. He might even get DRS. He's that close. As we now cross the line. The coolest guy in the pits. So Mason has pitted. So we're going to see Mason possibly go a lap down as well, as the front runners are absolutely steaming along. So Ricky Tan now hot on the hill. We've got a yellow in sector 3, but it's soon cleared, so not a big worry. And now we are seeing Ricky Tan chasing down Mr. Wanoaski as they head through. Oh, look at that. Ricky Tan's just on a different line there from Askey. It just allows him to catch right up. Oh, Mason's in for a long pit stop here. 30 odd seconds. Oh, he's just exiting the pit lane now. I wonder if he bumped off a wing or something, but he does indeed exit the pit lane, keeps it beautifully between the wire lines, and he continues on his way. He is now back 8 seconds behind Jack, down into P6. So Monaco is where you can go from hero to zero very fast, apparently. So this P3 is up for grabs. Yellow, sector 1. Who could that be? That is Mason. Spins out of the casino, and he continues on his way. So Ricky Tan now looking to make a move on Wanoaski. 20 minutes remaining. Half the race distance has gone. This has been a phenomenal race. As now how power on up the hill through Beau Rivage. Look at this. Ricky Tan going to go side by side through Askey. He does indeed. Ricky Tan with the fresher tyres at the penalty serve back up into P3. What an amazing move there. He just absolutely left Wanoaski for dead, side by side through Beau Rivage. Fantastic move from Ricky Tan. Didn't waste any time following through. He got on the back of him and he just sent it. What a great job from Ricky Tan. Back into P3, back where he wants to be. A long, long way behind P1 and P2. 51 seconds behind those guys. Nearly a lap down himself. But he's done it. He's gone through, served a drive-through penalty, had a pit stop, and now he is on his way. What a great job from Ricky Tan. Actually goes a little bit wide there, and we can see Askey thinking about it, but look at Askey's tyres actually. They look sort of dead from the front here, properly grained up. Probably lost a lot of grip. Mason back in the pit lane. Lost his front wing. Oh, that's a real shame for Mason. So back in the pit lane after he's just finished. That is a real shame. We're seeing Flying Rhino coming back at Mr. Droid here. Flying Rhino setting a fantastic last lap of 15.7 on these used tyres. And Frozen Droid there with a 16.0. So a good 2.7 second gap between these two. But the gap is coming down. Rhino is not giving up the time just yet. 18 minutes to go. As we see, anything can happen. Oblong now up into P6 with Mason just behind him. 17 seconds behind in P7 after having to make 2 pit stops, unfortunately. Yellow in sector 2. Who is that yellow for? Hopefully that's not Ricky Tan. I think it might have been Ricky Tan because Askey's right close to him again. No, indeed it's not Ricky Tan, so I'm not sure who that yellow is for, but they are safely on their way. Showing Ricky Tan and Askey have been really close together on my screen, so I might need to refresh that. As we see the guys, we see Rhino basically power sliding there through the top of Maribo. And who is that? That's not... Is that him in front? That is Frozen Joy just in front of him, I think. He can just about see him. 2.1 seconds now, the gap between these. 15.7 for him. That is indeed. He's just bringing him back into play. Look at this. Beautiful job from Flying Rhino, actually. He's doing a great job. Had that half spin, lost a boatload of time, but his head hasn't dropped. He's just pushing on as we now switch to Frozen Joy, going through the second swimming pool sector and heading into the Raskas. Yellow sector 1. Who is that? That might be Mason. No, it's not Mason. Who is that? Yellow sector 1. It might be one of these guys. No, Ricky Tan's still doing a good job. Askey. Oh, Askey's off. Askey's lost the front wing. Why no Askey now? No front wing. And a whole lap to do. So he must have lost it into turn 1. Look at this. It's understeer city here. So Jack is now going to be crawling back this time. So Askey's going to have to pit and get a new front wing. That is going to drop him probably behind Oblong. A real shame from Askey here. He's done a lot of work being the battle bus. Jack should be sniffing a chance now. Askey hits the wall hard on the exit of the tunnel. Big lock up from Askey as well. Can't get that car stopped with no front wing. And we should see Jack just about behind him. No, he's still a little... Oh, no, Askey, you've got to take it slow, my friend. You're going to cause more damage than it's worth. Take it slower. You don't want to damage the car any more than you need to. Come on, just bring it back to the pit lane. Get a new front wing. Oblong into the pits as well. Must have lost another front wing. So, in fact, Askey's going to lap Oblong in the pits. So, it's only Jack he needs to worry about. So, Askey into the pit lane now. Where is Jack? So Jack is now just going through the back corner, through Anthony Nodes with Mason just in front of him, who's nearly a lap down. So Jack now crosses the start-finish line and overtakes Askey while Askey's in the pits. So Askey is going to come out. Oblong, penalty for Oblong, speeding in the pit lane, I would imagine. Oh no, not a penalty for Oblong as well. That is going to push him way down. So Oblong is actually out. Askey is now leaving the pit lane. So Askey now into P5 just behind Jack. 14 seconds up the road. So yeah, Askey from P3 to P5 in a blink of an eye. Hopefully he's got a new fresh set of boots and he can continue on his way. But we just want to watch this man, Flying Rhino, back onto the gearbox of Frozen Droid. Now 1.6 seconds behind. Doing a good job of keeping him present. Not just letting Frozen Droid disappear off into the ether. So we're just riding with the Flying Rhino. Let's ride on board with him. Look at that. It looks just so smooth and beautiful through these. These guys must... You would think by now these guys are suffering with the tyres, but they're still putting in some cracking lap times, I'm telling you. The back of the car just starting to step round there as they cross the start-finish line now. What's Frozen Droid done? It's showing Frozen Droid with 16.0 still, but I don't think my times are updating very well. But yeah, so we see Flying Rhino just drop back a little bit from Frozen Droid down to 2 seconds. Oh, we see Flying Rhino with a big snap of oversteer into the barrier again. Looks like Oblong is now serving his penalty drive-through as well for speeding in the pit lane. He does indeed and gets underway. He's a long way back from Mason, unfortunately. Oh, no, actually not too bad. 13 seconds back from Mason, who is 61 seconds from Askey. Oh, well, look at these. The rear tyres of Rhino have gone. I think the rear tyres of Rhino have gone. He's just got no traction on that car whatsoever. I think he might have to think about pitting here. He's got enough time to box and get out in front of Ricky Tan. Maybe put on a set of softs here, but the rear tyres have definitely gone on the Rhino. He's dropping seconds a lap here. Now down to 3.3 seconds. He was down to 1.1 at the start of the lap. Is he going to continue? Is he going to think about boxing? Now down to 4 seconds. So it seems like we might have hit the natural drop-off point for these tyres here. And he doesn't box. No, he continues on his way. He's thinking track position is king here. Yellow in sector 2 for a long time. I don't know who that is. No, it continued. They are on their way. Happy days. Oh, Flying Rhino just not got the grip anymore. Just not got the grip to continue here as he now powers up. So he's going to be dropping time all along here. Maybe he can settle the car down and get the tyres back into control. But yeah, he just had a very bad lap. Hey, it's Mr. Kruger. Hello, Kruger. How are you doing, mate? I hope you are well. I am gutted that you're not here this evening, mate. This has been a swell race with only 7 races. With 10 or so, it would have been phenomenal. Oh, we're seeing now a big snap of oversteer on the exit into the tunnel. He is only down 3.8 now, but that is giving Frozen Droid all the breathing space that he needs here. Right, I think those rear tyres... Oh, look at that. The rear tyres have either overheated or they're dead. Through the swimming pool. Looks alright through there, but a lot of downforce on the car through that section. So we're just riding with Mr. Flying Rhino. So Oblong now 22 seconds behind his teammate in 5th place. And the gaps have all spread out pretty far between them all, apart from these 2 guys, Frozen Droid and the Flying Rhino. Can Flying Rhino do anything about... So what we do with last lap from Frozen Droid was a 17.5. Flying Rhino 17.2. So he's still slightly faster than Frozen Droid through there. Ricky Tan 17.6, so a little bit slower again. Jack a 17.8. So they are naturally within their lap time positions, I would say, apart from the Rhino, who is definitely a little bit quicker, but I think suffering from rear tyre wear a little bit. It's just sort of dialed back a little bit, I think, and getting the car into a place that he likes. As he heads out of the tunnel. Nice brakes. It looks like we might have pulled back quite a bit of lap time here. We see Frozen Droid just ahead. Look, we can see him in the same camera shot as the Rhino. So Frozen Droid maybe just struggling a little bit. So what did he do? 38.5 for the middle sector. Flying Rhino did a 38.1. So a good 4 tenths there difference. So indeed, there's a little bit of cat and mouse here. I think one backs off to save, get a little bit of temperature back in the tyres, while one pushes, and then it sort of vice versa a little bit. A bit of yee-yawing. Down to 10 minutes remaining of the race, so we've got a quarter of the race to go. Wow, what a phenomenal race so far. Qualifying was insane, and the race has been even better so far. So we're just Flying Rhino back into the second deficit here. Ricky Tan, so yeah, Flying Rhino with a 16.1, properly re-engaged there. Frozen Joy with a 16.5. There we have the 10-minute remaining marker. Oblong is coming along nice. He's dropped 2 seconds to his teammate there. So he's within 20 seconds now. So see whether he can continue that push on in the 10 minutes remaining and reduce that gap and maybe get an extra couple of points for himself. But for the... we see Ryan a big lock up there into the Novell chicane. So that is going to drop him back into the 3-second bracket and also hurt his front tyres massively. You see now him powering through. There's going to be a point, I think, where Flying Rhino knows he can't catch Frozen Droid. And does he just box for a fresh set of soft tyres? You know, because he's got 68 seconds on Rickytown, right? So does he box for a fresh set of tyres and just hold second place and let Frozen Droid disappear off into the distance? You know, because it's going to be difficult to trace him down unless he makes a mistake. Cricket had the first match of the cricket season today and couldn't make it back in time, unfortunately. Mate, no worries. No worries, mate. I understand. What we should do is get them to play cricket on a Saturday, right? Just suggestion box. Saturday cricket, all right? Remember that for next week. As we see, we're just staying on board with the front. Let's actually switch to our race leader, Mr. Frozen Droid, who seems to have this very much in hand, going through the tunnel onto the brakes nicely there. Gets the car turned in. Yeah, he's just got it all under control. He's just in the groove, isn't he, Mr. Frozen Droid? He's just doing everything he needs to, keeping it all nice and steady. He's handled the pressure from Flying Rhino quite well. Flying Rhino was within half a second at one point in the early stages of the race. And he's managed to hold that off and do really, really well through these first parts. And yeah, look at that. Just nice and sweet as he goes through. Jack 16 seconds behind Ricky Tanner. I haven't seen that creep down, but actually Oblong now 3.1 seconds behind Mason. So Mason must have made a mistake and has allowed Oblong onto the back of him. Yellow again in sector 2, and that is Oblong into the so the coolest guy into the wall. in the chicane. So Oblong now up into P6. And Mason is on his way into P7 and in last. Looks like he might have some issues here. Looks like the steering wheel was a little bit crooked on that car. But he gets underway nicely. So Oblong now up into 6th place. With Wino Askey just behind. Just in front of him. Well, I say just in front. Nearly a lap in front of him. Askey now, after damaging his front wing, went from P3 down to P5. And given up the podium place back to Mr. Ricky. Oh, we see Askey go straight on into the barrier. Oh, no. Askey, again, I think that's very similar to what he did the first time round. Gets a big lock up now. Locks the brakes. Slams into the wall. No front wing for Askey. He's going to have to now go around the whole lap without a front wing. Keeping it steady because it just doesn't like it. He needs to switch to some soft tyres, I think, for the last 6 minutes. And just try and do something. He's got a good 73 seconds on Oblong, so P5 should be pretty safe for him. As long as he doesn't speed in the pit lane and get a penalty like the others have done. But yeah, as Askey into the barriers again at turn 1. No front wing for him as he continues around. 6 minutes and 17 seconds remaining. We see Frozen Joy doing a fine first sector here. Just keeping that gap at 4 seconds to the Flying Rhino. Ricky Tan's dropped back further. He's in the 18s now, 18.0. So Ricky Tan's dropping back from the Flying Rhino even further, nearly a lap down actually from them two. So he's going to start seeing them come up in his mirrors very shortly, if he hasn't done already. Actually, we'll ride on board with him very shortly, as we see actually Askey taking it much steadier through this time. So he's not banging into the barriers and smashing up the car even worse. As he heads now into the pit lane to get a new front wing. And here we do see Ricky Tan with Frozen Joy just behind him as they cross the start finish line. So Ricky Tan's going to start getting blue flags. So Frozen Joy has lapped everyone all the way up into P3 now, which is an impressive job. But we do run the GT racing rules with blue flags here at the GSMC, so you do not have to give up the position. You just cannot defend it once a move has been made. But the drivers are generally very, very progressive and do move over for their faster comrades. So it's normally good spirits here. But we saw Ricky Tan just get into the wall a little bit. I don't know if he got any damage on that or not. But now we see him passing through the tunnel. Hot on the brakes here. Frozen Joy now is going to be just a bit wary, I think, because Frozen Joy's on tyres that started the 40 minutes from the very start. And Ricky Tan had a stop about 10 or 15 minutes in, I think. So he's got slightly fresher tyres. But Frozen Joy's still lapping very, very fast here. Flying Rhino now down to 7 seconds behind. So Flying Rhino must have made another little mistake. Kruger says Frozen tries look shot. They do look shot. I think they are shot. I think that's why Frozen Joy may be thinking that he might not pass Ricky Tan here. And or make a push for it, basically. Just keep it going. But Flying Rhino is now 6 seconds behind Frozen Joy. So Frozen Joy doesn't need to make this move happen. He can just sit and just cruise up to the back of Ricky Tan and see if Ricky Tan will let him through. We see Askey out of the pits and remains into 5th place actually. So good job from him. Oblong now 30 seconds behind him. We see Ricky Tan now pull to the inside through the tunnel and allows Frozen Joy through nicely. So that's what Frozen Joy needed to do. Just no rush, no stress. Just cruise up to Ricky Tan and let Ricky Tan make the decision. And he does indeed. So Ricky Tan lets Frozen Joy through. Now Frozen Joy has lapped everyone all the way up to P3, which is pretty insane. Let's ride with this man. We haven't seen him for a little while. Mr. Jack in P4 was up into P3 temporarily until he lost it. Is he still on the soft tyres actually? Or did he switch to mediums? No, Jack's still on the softs. So Jack on softs. Oblong switched off his hards onto mediums. So Jack doing a good job on his soft tyres. starting to hurt a little bit. What's his last lap time? 18.0. Ricky Tan was on 19.5. Actually, we'll see what this is crossing the line because Ricky Tan had traffic. Jack crossing the line now, and he does a 18.7. So yeah, a little bit faster than Ricky Tan on that lap, but Ricky Tan obviously gave up a lot of time to Frozen Droid. Is the Flying Rhino? Oh, is he Flying Rhino? Oh, big lockup from Flying Rhino as he goes into Maribo. Basically sideways. I think his tyres are also absolutely shot. Yeah, look at that. Look, his tyres are worn through and worn silly. 2 minutes remaining. If I was the Flying Rhino, I probably would have done it about 5 or 10 minutes ago. I probably would have stopped and got a fresh set of boots and just seen what might have happened. You never know. Frozen Droid might have stopped, fearing for the overcut. You don't know, but just to make my life more comfortable, I think I would have done it. You know, he's nearly a lap ahead of Ricky Tan now, so Ricky Tan would not get second position from him, and with the fresher tyres he would be gone. So we are just steaming along. I don't know why it says ASCII on +1, but let's refresh those. No, it still said it, whatever. So Mason, oh, just hits the wall there on the way through. Heads on into the tunnel with his teammate just behind him, 8 seconds behind in 7th place. ASCII up the road, heading through T1 successfully this time and doesn't lose his front wing. Good job from him. Jack in P4 doing another fine job, keeping Ricky Tan sort of honest. 16 seconds ahead. I've seen that gap closing and opening as well. Ricky Tan basically, for those who've just dropped in, Ricky Tan lost P3 at the start, had to pit I think for damage, had to pit because of penalty, but pitted for tyres and then pitted for his drive-through, so he had a penalty, was all the way down and then managed to crawl his way back up into 3-3. Flying Rhino, penalty? What is the penalty for the Flying Rhino? Did he skip a chicane? He must have skipped a chicane one too many times. Flying Rhino gets a penalty right in the dying throes of the race. He goes into the pit lane to serve it. The Flying Rhino now into the pit lane to do his drive-through penalty. So that must have been for skipping the chicane. So no minutes remaining. So this is the last lap. So the Flying Rhino exits the pits now, but he's way ahead of Ricky Tan. So that is fine. So we're going to enjoy this final tour with Frozen Droid as he goes through the hairpin one last time. He's just on the back of another car, maybe Mason, I think. And he does. Mason pulls over nicely into the tunnel section. Frozen Droid now blasting through the tunnel. Great job from him. Now a good 22 seconds ahead of anyone else. He's lapped Mason, lapped everyone basically, as he now heads into the back for the very last time. Flies through there. What a beautiful job he's doing. Comes through the swimming pool section for the last time. Now heads into the Rascas. Gets the cars turned in nicely. Beautiful job from Frozen Droid. The first of our Triple Crown winners here at the GSMC. Congratulations, Frozen Droid, as he crosses the line to win the first GSMC Monaco race and the Triple Crown. Well done, Frozen Droid. What a great job from him. As we see Ricky Tan now cross the line in 3rd place behind him. And we are now waiting for the Flying Rhino to finish in P2. As he now goes through. He's slowing right down because he knows no one can catch him. Basically, everyone else has crossed the line in front of him. So he's just cruising up into the start-finish line. Hopefully he's not run out of go-go juice. And he heads across the line now to finish in P2. Good job from the Flying Rhino. Put a lot of pressure on Frozen Droid early doors. So good job from him. What a job from him. As we see, Jack has crossed the line in P4. Wano ASCII in P5. Mr. Oblong in 6th. And the coolest guy in 7th place. Well done, Frozen Kruger. Schmidtstorm says, Frozen! Well done, all. Surviving Monaco is quite achievement. It is indeed. Brilliant race. Well done, Frozen Joy. Thanks, Boost and Ken. Great to have the GSCs back. We're going to bring Ken in. Ken, thank you very much for this evening.
No worries. It was very enjoyable to watch.
It was indeed. That was a very fun race for these guys, and definitely one for man versus track rather than each other. But these guys managed to do a great job. But yeah, so that is everything from us here at GSMC. I hope you enjoyed it. We are back next week with our sprint race at Austria at the Red Bull Ring. So be there for that, because that is going to be a hell of a race. Reverse grid, race 1 to race 2. So we'll see you then. Thank you very much, and we'll see you soon.